listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV Supernatural After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV Supernatural After Show.
Oh yeah, little foreigner.
I love this
I want to know what love is.
I love this song so much. I actually have this on my iPod when I run. I actually listen to this song just because it's like a good jam.
It is. It gets, you know,
It
higher
builds.
as it goes. Yes, yeah. Good running song. Welcome everybody to the Supernatural After Show. I am Tom Connolly, and sitting along next to me is.
I am Lyndsey Wegner.
So, Supernatural Season 9, Episode 5, Dog Dean Afternoon. I think the theme of the episode titles this season are movies.
Or all movie titles.
Yeah. Like they've configured it to work for them.
Just kind of want to jam out to the song right now.
The song is
Sorry,
so long
guys.
too.
Yep.
We're just gonna play the music and we'll be back after the
Let's
song's
have a
over.
little sing along, yeah.
So, I think this episode, funniest episode of the season so far.
Funniest episode of the season.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite so far, actually. I liked the Dorothy one last week, but this one, just the humor in it was just spot on. Everything about it was just great. I loved this episode. It was, if somebody watched this episode, was the first one they saw, they'd totally be into it.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
there was so much comedy in this episode.
Yeah, that's how I thought too. The same thing of like, I thought last week was one of the ones where you'd be hooked. This is another one that would hook you in. Like, if you watched last week's episode and then you watch this week, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm definitely watching the show every week.
Absolutely.
I'd be like, I'm going back to the beginning, you know.
Yes, definitely.
But
Definitely.
this week's episode starts off with a taxidermist.
Right away. Right away we have
with squirrels.
we have craziness going on. Yeah, squirrels and mice and
posing them in little outfits and, you know.
And literally, within the first couple minutes, we have somebody dying.
Yeah. Oh, what a shock on on Supernatural.
Yes. But what is it?
Yeah.
We don't know what it is.
He had a snake-like tongue.
Lizard,
it was,
snake hissing.
Yeah. Creepy looking. Very creepy looking.
Very creepy looking. But nothing except for his tongue that would let somebody know that he was an actual, creature.
Yeah. Well, then he did, crush the guy.
He did crush, then you see the shadows and him crushing it, and we find out that he's literally crushed every single bone in his body like a constrictor. He's constricted it.
Yeah. So we'll find out later why he was doing that or what he
Yes.
was, that man in the cowboy hat.
Yes.
And then the only witness to the crime was,
Colonel.
yeah, the dog.
The dog.
So we see Sam and Dean in the bunker. Kevin is kind of hungover after
From too many
partying in
slippery
Branson.
nipples.
Yeah. I guess it's a crazy party town. I've never been there before, so have you ever been there? Branson?
I've never been to Branson.
No, I guess
Never.
it must be crazy. For Kevin it is, at least. They find out, they see, Dean or Sam wants to go out and start hunting more. Wants to get back to what they're doing, what they normally do.
And Dean is hesitant because he knows.
Yeah, he's still not up
Let's
there.
be in full ready, full force
Yeah.
mode. Not do anything, haphazardly, and not do it in full strength.
Yeah.
And he knows that Sam's not in full strength.
Yeah. I mean, we still don't know exactly how, what strength he's at, because, I say he's definitely still less than 50%.
I agree.
And, Sam says, I'm fine. I feel good. I've had, 8 hours of sleep for the last 2
3
nights.
nights.
Yeah.
So I'm good for a hunter.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. And so he tells him what the project is, that somebody was killed in Oklahoma, and they got to go check it out.
Yeah. It's a supernatural happening, so what else are they going to do? Sit in the bunker all day and just hang out and, watch Game of Thrones?
Drink slippery nipples?
Yeah.
Probably not. Better things to do.
So they go there and they start investigating, obviously. they find out, this guy has a dog. They take the dog to the kennel.
But
before that, they find a symbol.
it was a pagan.
Yeah,
Well, they
yeah,
thought at the time it was
yeah.
a pagan symbol, and it said "die scum" on there. And as they talk to a witness, the witness tells them that he came for his pickup, and the entrails were gone. But normally, they're all there.
Yeah.
So all the body parts for anyone hunting that week were gone. So we know whatever killed Max Alexander, who was the taxidermist, whoever killed him, is now taking the entrails with him, which is totally different than just killing the guy. We don't know why he's killed him.
Yeah.
And so they investigate that by checking out this vegan bakery.
Yeah, which is and it also there's like a PETA-like organization called SNART, and the owners also own this vegan bakery, which Dean is not happy to be at. I've been to the vegan bakery. I'm vegetarian, so it's good to me.
I had my first vegan experience last year, and
Nice.
I love it now. It's fantastic. I still like to eat meat, but it's very tolerable once you know like where to like not stray from. Don't get your favorite item. Don't go and get mac and cheese at a vegan restaurant when that's your favorite item. No, because if
Veggie Grill mac and cheese.
I do like
Great.
Veggie Grill, yes, but it's not what I'm from Wisconsin.
Oh,
I
okay,
love my
yeah,
mac and cheese.
alright.
I want like 10 different cheeses in there. I want it to be the cheesiest thing possible.
Gotcha.
So if I go to a vegan restaurant, it's not going to taste like my back home Wisconsin mac and cheese or my gnocchi mac and cheese that I make. So I can't do it. I can't do it. Don't get something you love at a vegan restaurant. Get something stray from that. Try something different.
Yeah.
All
But so a vegan bakery to Dean is like, the last place on earth he wants to be. He'd probably want to go to hell instead.
And they walk in, and then the two main people are wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
He goes, "How douchey."
Yeah. He goes, "Who wears sunglasses? Blind people and douchebags."
But we find out why they're wearing them, and it's
Yeah.
not. And they know that they're being
Yeah,
douchebags
yeah.
by wearing them, and it's because they have this like burn on their eyes, and Sam checks it out and researches it and finds out it's necrosis.
Yeah.
And necrosis can only come from a few different things, and this we realized is due to venom.
Yeah.
Which explains the hissing sound, the snake, the lizard.
Yeah, they thought it was a mace that they got sprayed in the face with. So they go to then we cut back to, the animal kennel, and this guy in the
we get
cowboy
to the second
hat,
death.
comes up, gives the guy, slips the guy 20.
100.
Yeah. Oh, it was 100?
100.
Oh, I thought it was a couple
$100 bill.
20s. Oh, okay. I thought he just he was like, I'm not going to give 100. I'll give him a couple 20s.
Oh, I thought it was 100. Uh-oh.
But yeah, so he slips the guy some money. We find out he's in there grabbing the cats out of the kennels, putting them in a bag. They're all freaking out, and then the guy goes in and he sees he's eating a cat whole. Ugh. We see the tail go into his mouth. So that guy doesn't last long.
Nope.
Second victim. Sam and Dean show up. They find the dog, Colonel, at the pound. And Colonel, is trying to communicate with them.
Because he starts barking when one of the
police officers has a hat on.
Has a hat. And he starts barking and realizes that there's got to be something. So they're going to try and figure out how to talk to this dog.
Yeah, how to speak to the dog. So they call up Kevin, who's their, resident
go-to guy.
Yeah, bookworm. And he finds a spell for them.
An Inuit.
Yeah.
Inuit spell, an Eskimo spell to communicate with a dog where a human and animal mind meld.
Yeah.
And we saw this in the previews last week. So I knew there was going to be some sort of humor in this episode with this. And I literally, the subtlety was so awesome. Like I loved it. From that, actually from the first play between the two vegan owners and their back and forth. I don't know if you noticed that, but it was so spot on and so quick and really just made you I loved that. And then I felt like with this too.
Yeah.
With him talking to the dog and then doing the subtle nuances of a dog, exhibiting the behavior of the dog was just incredible. Was so adorable and cute.
Yeah, as they start to talk, Sam and Dean are talking. Dean, takes the spell, waits to see what happens, and he has Dean always has a big appetite. He's always eating anyway, so
he's eating more now.
Yeah, as they're talking, all hear is change the station. Change the station. And he's like, he's arguing to him about Styx. Saying,
how Styx is going to be played next, and it's classic, and they call that classic rock.
Yeah.
Foreigner playing. And they get in a little fight, and he realizes, oh my God, he's talking to his dog.
Yeah, and Sam's kind of like, what's going on? What are you doing? Like,
he's like, it's working.
Yeah, huh?
It's working. I'm getting to talk to this dog as, Sam throws, a piece of paper away, and Dean goes and grabs it and hands it back to him, and then does it again. And he's like, I don't want this.
Yeah.
I love.
He's like, what are you doing?
Why
are you? And he's like, you're fetching.
And then realizes that he's doing all these things. He's fetching. He has this bigger appetite. He's
scratching his head.
And I love it as the mailman shows up, and he just starts you, like
growling,
barking
at him.
and growling, and that's when he realizes, okay, this has worked. He's literally melded with this animal. They don't know how long it's gonna last, how long this spell will last, but hopefully it's enough to take them to the pound where they can find out more information about what happened there with Mr. Snake Guy.
Yeah, and then I think the next scene when we came back was, I think that was the one with the mailman. I like that. That was really funny. And then I think the next one was funnier, where they're leaving the hotel and a pigeon is up on a lamppost taking a crap on the car, and Dean starts yelling at him, and he realizes he can talk to other animals too.
All animals he's able to, and he's gonna shoot the bird.
Yeah. The bird tells him to go cry to your mama.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was. And then seeing him in the car, sticking his head out the window, totally enjoying the ride, and then realizing, oh my gosh,
when they finally get there.
This.
And then he won't leave the dog, and he won't leave Colonel in the car.
Nope.
He's like, "What do you think? We like to stay in the back of the car?"
Well, the windows are down. All the windows are down. No, it's not comfortable back here.
Yeah.
I like that. So they had to the pound get inside there.
But they saw. Before they walk into the pound, there's a poodle outside.
The sexy music.
Yeah. And Dean just can't stop staring at the poodle.
I was trying to figure out, okay, who was really into this poodle? Was it Colonel or was it
I think it was
Dean?
both of them. I think because they just kind of like, they became like instant buddies.
Yes,
and it was
they
just
totally
kind of like,
bonded.
they were like, oh, check her out. Yeah.
That was very, very, very cute. And yes, very, very cute.
Yeah.
So they get inside the pound.
So then Dean has like a therapy session with all the dogs in the pound.
There. And he's thinking he's going to get information from them, but everyone's complaining about something, like they only let us out once a day, or they only clean our cage once a day, and all this stuff.
And there was like an elderly little dog that needed some surgery, and she was like, oh, who's going to pay for all this? Or something like that.
And we finally get to a dog that actually has seen something, gives them a little bit of information, as long as Sam will give him a belly rub. So Sam starts giving him a belly rub. He gives the information, basically extortion is what the dog is saying. And that they need to go to the avant-garde cuisine. Yeah. That's where this guy was from, and he ate a cat.
Yeah.
So they're going to go check that out. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but on YouTube they have a video called Teasing the Dog. And all of these dogs talking totally reminded me of that video because the dog talks back and forth with the owner. Well, the owner does a voiceover for the dog, and like the dog's talking about how, he wants to eat bacon, the maple kind, and he's like, and I filled it with cat treats, and the dog's freaking out and making all these cute faces, and I literally felt like this episode with the yawning, and literally the dog, just even the subconscious barks or yawns and stuff were really super cute and well written into the script.
So then we go to Sam and Dean at the restaurant. They see a picture of Chef Leo, who is the man that was, stealing all these animal.
They don't know if it's him
body
yet.
parts, and and then as they're investigating around, they hear, "Help us, please, Mister, over here."
Little kids'
help
voices.
Us,
they
help
think.
Us. And there's some mice in a cage that say they're gonna be eaten by Chef Leo.
All they have to do is look in the fridge and see all these other weird things, and they see shamanism. Sam finds this shamanism, which they gain power of the animal they eat, and they're like super exotic animals. Yeah. But mixing ingredients makes this super animal, which is what he was doing, obviously, with the boa constrictor, and this killing the second guy with
some kind of claw,
like a paw almost, but with like long fingernails on it. So we know that he's mixing these ingredients. We don't know why he's doing this and what's causing it, but pretty crazy stuff.
So obviously Sam and Dean say they're from the they're from the health inspection. They close the restaurant down as the chef's having a private party. Then they split up. Chef Leo finds Sam as he's the chef Leo was a chameleon on the wall, which I thought was really cool looking.
Super cool.
Yeah. He slashes Sam's neck, and Sam is just bleeding, go to die, and then of course Zeke pops out. This is the only time we've seen him this episode.
And but the only time too that he's called on himself. To heal Sam. Usually Dean calls for him to help him. So that was really, really neat to see. But he's obviously aware of everything that's going on in Sam's body, that he can just come out and reappear and disappear whenever he wants. But we noticed.
It's interesting though. I wasn't thinking that he was the one that actually did it himself and was like, I need to heal him, because if not, I'm not gonna be here anymore.
And of course, this time Dean's not around, but we've got Chef Leo around who sees this happen.
Yeah.
So he's like, what kind of healing powers do you have that you can do this? And
Sam has no idea, because he like shocked. Yeah, Zeke flips him back to Sam, and he's like, he
doesn't
has
know what
blood
he's
on
talking
his
about.
neck, but he doesn't know. Yeah, he doesn't know where.
He's
why
not
is he not
in
cut?
pain, yeah.
And then Sam ends up, or he ends up knocking him out, takes him away,
and Dean finds them, and he gets overtaken by Chef Leo. And he starts talking about why he's doing this with the animals, which was really neat. He said stage 4 carcinoma.
Yeah.
And no treatment would help him. So this temporary cure of experimenting with animal parts and organs would make him stronger and last longer. But it also turns him into this predator, because his original idea wasn't to kill people, but it just kind of...
They got in the way, basically.
They got in the way.
So I mean, if you're trying to steal, like, animal intestines and stuff, I mean, someone's gonna eventually find out, and you're gonna have to deal with the consequences. So I feel like for him it was like he wanted to stay alive longer, so this was
the only way he thought he could.
Yeah, he'd rather kill people than.
But what made me freak out was when he said, if your brother, what is he, can heal himself, what happens if I eat him?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, if he eats him, then Zeke's going to be inside him. Will he heal him? Like, this would be...
He was definitely going to take Sam's heart and eat it.
Oh, God, that was super duper scary.
Yeah. I couldn't tell if he had to eat, like, only the hearts of the animals, or if it was different parts
brain, because he was going to eat brains of something else, and intestines, or,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I guess it didn't matter.
Yeah,
I guess it mattered probably towards the spell, whatever spell he wanted to use. That was probably
everything became the spell.
Whatever he needed.
Because he did a wolf spell.
Yeah, wolf's heart.
Which
he took a bite out of, and he started to get the fangs and started to break out a little bit, but Dean was able to escape. Dean runs out of the restaurant into the parking lot, and he says wolf trumps dog, and Dean's like, well, not the whole pack. And all the dogs that Dean left free earlier from the pound come out, and they just basically rip him apart and just destroy Chef Leo. And all we see is his hand on the fence, like clawing to get away. And Dean just kind of looks on, kind of almost like happy, like not that he almost wanted to jump into it, but just being like, okay, I'm just gonna hang out and watch.
I'm on
these
the outside
dogs
watching all this happen.
Yeah. Then we go back, and Dean finds Sam on the floor, and he's out, like he's not waking up. We kind of think he's dead, and he calls for Zeke too, and Zeke doesn't show up either. So
he doesn't answer him.
I couldn't tell if Sam was kind of almost dead for a little bit, or just really, really out of it. But Sam finally does come to, and then we find out that the Snart people adopt Colonel.
And he's not happy about that.
No.
He does not want to be eating like vegan doggy
cupcakes. Yeah.
But I love that he tells him, he's like, you know what, we're really not man's best friend. And he's about to go into this reason of why dogs are really around. And the spell wears off for Dean. So he's no longer mind melding with the animal.
Yeah.
And Dean's all like angry about it.
He's like, what?
There's nothing we can do. Maybe we'll come back and revisit that later on and find out what the real reason humans and animals, dogs best friend.
Yeah, maybe they'll meet up down the road.
But
and Colonel did tell Dean that he barfed in his car.
Yes.
Because he gets car sick.
And Sam's sitting there questioning Dean again, like, why did this guy tell him how
like what he was,
and what he was and all this stuff, and we're going back into another lie.
Yeah, he just tells
Here
him.
we go again.
He was all juiced up, and
but it wasn't. I almost feel like this time it wasn't really necessarily Dean's fault because, like we said, Zeke overtook Sam this time without Dean telling him to.
Yeah. I almost thought Dean was going to tell him. I kind of felt like he was going to be like, listen, I need to tell you this now. But he does know. Dean obviously knows it. The second he tells Sam, he's going to reject him from his body.
And I think he has to wait till he's at more strength, full power before he decides to tell him this because you're right, he's going to expel it. So it's not going to be a good thing. No. So we end on that note.
Yeah, so the boys drive off into the night, Dean says you can't reason with crazy, and that Sam has nothing to worry about. Dun, dun, dun. He has a lot to worry about.
Yeah,
they both have a lot to worry about.
All this humor and comedic relief throughout the whole episode, and then you end on that oh, man. Yeah. Now I got to wait till next week to see what happens.
Like back to reality.
Yep.
No more laughing and, having a good time chasing after the mailman.
I just love this episode. This episode was so great.
It was so funny.
Just a really, really well written, well directed, well acted episode, and all the nuances and just simple, subtle things from Dean were just fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean this was definitely, Sam and Dean centric, the whole thing. We didn't see Kevin, we didn't see Cass, no Crowley.
Just those two.
Yeah. Which I think it was nice because we've had so many other different characters in the first 4 episodes that it was nice to go back to just them and just get back to what
the brothers
most
and the
episodes
bonding
about.
and the sharing between the two of them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And like to me, this is one of the episodes that I feel like I say this every week, but this is one of those episodes where I really enjoy it because it's got the humor in it, but it also has the serious undertones of what is going on in the storyline throughout the season. But it's nice for them to kind of relax a little bit and have that have those laughs and not take everything so serious all the time.
Exactly. I mean, even seeing Sam watching Dean, just knowing that he's a dog this whole time or that he's got this, it was really, really good bonding between the two of them.
It was,
exactly. It's a great episode for that.
It was something they needed.
I think so too.
To just move forward in their life where they are now. And then next week we see the Cass is working at a convenience store.
He's got a job. He's got to do real things, real human things.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's good at it though.
Nope. But we don't see much though. We just really kind of see that. So I guess they're leaving it open.
It seems like there's another angel that's definitely hunting Cass. It looks like an angel. He may be, Death again, or a Reaper, which has been, going after him. And in the preview it said that, what happens when you're number 1 on the angel hit list. And that is Cass. He is number 1 on the hit list. So
we'll find out more next week.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, it'll be good to see Cass back. Doesn't look like we're going to see any Crowley. So he's kind of
they're going
to
obviously go find Cass. So it's going to obviously be an adventure or road trip to get to Cass.
Yeah.
So maybe there'll be a little storyline behind that.
Yeah, I'm interested to know why they're going to Cass now. Like, what are they?
There's got to be a reason that they're going to be seeking him out.
Yeah.
Unless he's called upon them, but would they even hear him?
No. Well, no, because he's human. So
I feel like he call them.
Yeah, I feel like he can. I guess he can hear some of the angels, but he can't really call on anybody else, and he can't, obviously zap himself to them. So it'll be interesting to see. I want to see Sam's reaction when he sees Cass, because like, is Dean gonna not let them talk to each other so Cass doesn't know that Zeke is in his body, or
because and partially because they also told Cass to leave.
Yeah.
So there still may be some tension there.
Yeah.
That may come back then between Sam and Dean.
Yeah. I feel like they're between Dean and Cass, because we never really got that whole conversation.
No, and that's what I was waiting for in that next episode. But we knew that the Dorothy and Felicia Day were coming back. Charlie were coming back for the episode, so we really didn't get that closure.
Yeah, it was
that
just
we wanted to find out.
Cass is gone.
Yeah, Cass has to go, and he goes willingly goes.
Yeah.
So.
Because Cass is a good guy.
Yep.
And
he is.
I can't wait to see him make Slurpees next week. He doesn't look like he's good at it. Those are a pain sometimes. But let's get into some news and gossip.
News and gossip. What do you got for me?
AfterBuzz TV News.
I have that Metatron will be returning in episode 9, which is like the mid-season finale.
Spoiler alert!
Oh, sorry.
Spoiler alert!
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, I should have said that out loud first.
We don't know what episode he's coming back on. Something what?
Yeah, I don't know what number. No, but he'll be back for the mid-season finale. Apparently, he's been bored up in heaven all by himself. So he's coming back down to Earth to, mess with the boys. And Jared did tweet that they are filming the mid-season cliffhanger episode and that it's awesome. So it'll be interesting to see how they end that. And that'll be on December 3rd that episode airs.
All right.
Couple
cool.
weeks.
I read on socialitelife.com, which they actually just wrote the article, posted the article today, that our stars Jared and Jensen have started to actually believe in the supernatural. Jared told reporters, "I firmly believe things happen for a reason. That may sound melodramatic, but I don't believe in coincidences." Adding, "I also believe we're not the only living creatures in the universe." Jensen said, "I wouldn't call myself superstitious, but I do suspect there's more between heaven and earth, even hell." And a fun fact about the show is that the things they do are actually based on real techniques. And according to Jensen, "I've been told that the majority of the stuff we do on the show, the tools of trade, wordings, spells, hexes, and exorcism are actually things taken from research. So I'm going to go on that and hope that if I ever do run into something supernatural in real life, I have 8 years of experience to combat it."
Ooh, creepy.
Which is kind of cool.
It's it's cool that they actually take stuff from real real
kind of
mythology
crazy that it actually exists, but that they believe in that.
Yeah.
Pretty darn cool.
That must be a lot of research to do on the show.
A lot of someone's doing lots of research.
Yeah, all this the sayings they do when they do the spells, that kind of stuff. But let's get into some predictions.
Predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I like the lighting effect in here. So you can go first this week.
All right. Predictions. I'm waiting for an eruption either between Cass and Dean or Sam and Dean. I'm waiting for it. It's coming up. It's getting closer and closer. And I love I love and hate that Zeke popped up out of nowhere without being called. So I feel like that may be a more regular occurrence. And that's definitely going to start to mess with Sam's mind and make him question more. And it's going to be a big blow up. And I'm worried that maybe that's the cliffhanger they're going to leave us with mid-season and then come back and hopefully Dean and Sam can figure things out. But that's coming soon.
Yeah. I feel like either next week or, coming up soon, I think it's going to be Dean having a confrontation with Zeke and definitely being like, "What are you doing? Like, why did you, I'm glad you healed him, but why did you do that?" Like, I'm sure Zeke's going to say, well, he's going to die. But how many times is Sam going to die this season? I feel like almost every episode he dies.
3 or 4 times now we've had Zeke come back and heal him.
Yeah.
So literally, I mean, I wouldn't want to see Dean die either, but
no.
let's beat up Dean for a little bit and not have it be Sam every week being like, duh.
Yeah. That would be very interesting if Dean was dying. And yet, would Zeke save Dean?
Absolutely. He saved Charlie.
Yeah.
He totally would. But the crazy thing is going to be how, when he comes back to do that, how that's going to be explained to Sam. Because there's going to be no one around to explain that to Sam. So Sam's going to know something happened. He saw Dean dying, and then all of a sudden Dean's alive again.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's going to be good. I think that, and I feel like, the mid-season, like with Jared saying that, it's awesome, and, I think that it's either going to end with Dean or Sam rejecting Zeke out of his body and dying, and I mean, that'd be a great cliff, because that would definitely get me to be like, I need to see what happens next. Or with Dean dying and Zeke helping him and Sam being like, what is going on right now? Like, where did I just go? What is happening? So yeah, I say something like that is definitely down the road. And I do think this season, we haven't seen Abaddon lately. I think she's definitely going to be coming back around.
And we know Charlie's coming back.
And I definitely think that Sam and Dean and Crowley are going to end up having to work together. I definitely think that's happening.
I think Crowley's going to actually, I agree. I think he's going to help them. I think he's going to actually do some good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to change him.
No.
But I believe he's going to do some good. And like we said, we know Charlie's coming back. That may mean Dorothy's coming back.
Yeah.
So I'd look forward to seeing that happen as well.
Yeah, I did see on the iTunes board, someone said that they think that Charlie and Dorothy are going to hook up, which I could definitely see that happening. Definitely see that happening down the road. So maybe we'll see that happen. That'd be interesting and a fun thing to happen. But yeah, I definitely feel that, Crowley has been the bad guy he's been around for a couple seasons now. I think 3 or 4. And I think they do need, a new, bigger bad. New villain and I think that's Abaddon. So we also have Bartholomew, which you only saw in that one episode.
We've only seen Abaddon 1 or 2 episodes, and she disappeared, so we don't know where she is.
Yeah, so I think she's definitely coming back. Bartholomew. I mean, there's a lot of groups that are forming, going after them.
Just setting everything up right now.
And I think it's gonna be one of those weird things of Supernatural where the Winchesters have to now team up with demons to fight the angels, which I think is gonna be.
It's the twist of a season.
Yes, exactly. So that wraps us up for this week. Lyndsey, where can they find you at?
You guys can find me on Facebook and Twitter at Lyndsey Wegner and on my blog, lyndseywegner.blogspot.com. And Tom, where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at TomTheCom, and they can find me tomorrow night for Abby's Ultimate at 8 p.m. and at WWE Main Event at 10 p.m. tomorrow night. And we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.